Over the past few years, the internet has found any given opportunity to make fun of Ohio as a state. From memes like Ohio versus the world to wait, it's all Ohio, always has been. While these memes are meant to be humorous, they often depict Ohio as a state no one wants to live in due to its emptiness and supposedly being an industrial wasteland. To be frank, this is not far from the truth. Ohio has a massive agricultural economy that generates over $15 billion a year. This means there are vast tracts of land set aside in the state specifically for farming, which means you can travel hundreds of miles and see nothing but corn, cows, and chickens. It also has historically been an industrial hub, being the birthplace of iconic companies like Kroger, Procter & Gamble, Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, and the Marathon Petroleum Corporation. Ohio was and continues to be a manufacturing hub, but like many states within the Rust Belt that benefited from America's industrialization, the deindustrialization and the flight of the jobs that came with it left Ohio desolate and poor, with many of its cities like Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati suffering from this decline and only recently recovering. This recovery process has allowed Cincinnati to create one of the best riverfronts in the country, as it converted one of its industrial landscapes into a communal space worthy of being ranked as #1 in the country. This riverfront is the Smale Riverfront Park. To understand how this park went from looking like this to this, we need to briefly dive into the history of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is one of the most fascinating cities in the United States. It's home to two of the biggest companies in the country, namely Kroger and Procter & Gamble, both of which originated in the city and remain headquartered. It also has the Roebling Bridge, which served as the template for New York City's Brooklyn Bridge. But this isn't where Cincinnati's fascination ends or even starts. The name of the city itself is arguably the most interesting thing about the city. Most people know or assume that the city was named after Lucius Quintus Cincinnatus, a consul and dictator of the Roman Republic. But there's another layer to this. The city is actually named after the Society of the Cincinnati, which is named after Lucius Quintus Cincinnatus to reflect the goals and ideals of the society and Cincinnatus himself, of civic virtue and selfless leadership. The name Cincinnati was bestowed upon the Losantiville settlement in 1790 by Arthur St. Clair, a member of the society and the first governor of the Northwest Territory. Cincinnati's location in the Northwest Territory primed it to become a great city as the United States expanded westwards after the Revolutionary War. Between 1830 and 1900, Cincinnati remained among the top 10 biggest cities in the United States. This rapid growth was largely attributed to the Ohio River and the construction of the Miami and Erie Canal, which connected the East Coast to the Northwest and the South. This connection allowed immigrants that arrived in New York City's Ellis Island to travel to the Northwestern Territories and settle down. This influx of immigrants to Cincinnati paved way for new businesses and industries to thrive along the river, and so they did. By 1850, Cincinnati was a leading center for pork processing and was home to numerous slaughterhouses and pork packing plants. By having easy access to the Ohio River, the pork industry flourished, and so did other industries that benefited from the pork industry, such as Procter & Gamble, which made soaps from the animal fats that were made abundant by the city's massive pork industry. As Cincinnati's industries grew on the bank of the Ohio River, so did the city. By the 1900s, the city was a key port city in the Midwest, facilitating the movement of agricultural products, manufactured goods, and other commodities. Remnants of ports and docks can still be found today at Sawyer Point and the Smale Riverfront Park. How this riverfront went from this to this is one of the most remarkable riverfront transformations in the country. But this story can't be told without talking about the city's population. Since its beginning, Cincinnati has been a city that grows with industry. The pork industry pushed the city's population to 325,000 by 1900. By 1950, the population was standing at 500,000 as a direct result of World War II and the industrialization that occurred before and after the war that required large-scale manufacturing of military equipment and consumer goods. And so, when the United States faced deindustrialization, Cincinnati, which is within the Rust Belt, lost a huge amount of its population as the factories and industries it relied on saw a sharp decline and were mostly abandoned. This decline in population has yet to still recover, with Cincinnati's population being lower than what it used to be as far back as the late 1890s. And so, in an effort to revitalize the city and its community, the city of Cincinnati, alongside other entities like the Cincinnati Park Board, the Smale Family Foundation, and corporations like Procter & Gamble, set out a plan to redevelop the riverfront. This ambitious redevelopment aimed not only to rejuvenate the physical space, but also to breathe new life into the city itself. The riverfront, once dominated by decaying industrial remnants and neglected infrastructure, was transformed into a vibrant public space that now serves as a focal point for community engagement, tourism, and economic activity. The creation of the Smale Riverfront Park, along with the larger Banks project, was more than just beautifying the area. It was about restoring Cincinnati's connection to the Ohio River and reimagining the city's identity in a post-industrial era. The park and surrounding developments, commonly referred to as the Banks, were designed to attract both residents and visitors, offering a mix of recreational amenities, cultural attractions, and commercial opportunities that reflect the city's rich history while looking forward toward the future. As a result of these efforts, Cincinnati's riverfront is no longer a symbol of industrial decline, but a showcase of urban renewal and resilience. The transformation has not only enhanced the city's landscape, but has also sparked a broader revitalization of downtown Cincinnati, helping to reverse decades of population loss and economic stagnation. Today, the riverfront is a bustling area filled with parks, restaurants, shops, and entertainment venues, drawing people from all walks of life and contributing to a renewed sense of pride in the city. This story of transformation is a testament to the power of strategic investment and community collaboration. By leveraging public and private resources, Cincinnati has successfully turned a once blighted area into one of the most admired riverfronts in the country, setting an example for other cities facing similar challenges.